Yo guys, and we are back with the second game of today. GERA Cup still it is. We have Shiek against ThomasG. So Shiek is starting here at the almost 11 o'clock position of Turtle Rock at the bottom half of it. And on the other side we have his opponent, the red Night player ThomasG, who was a really good Night back in the day when I was also playing still very competitively against a big scene when Warcraft was still big. I think in 2007, 2008 he was a great player, a really great and a strong player coming up, as well as like one of the new kids to the block, as well as I was part of that one. Sierra was already there, orc player from Denmark that was part of Meteor Makers for a long time. So a lot of these names added up in the end and they all played together and kept improving and improving, and this is really cool to see. So now ThomasG is returning to the scene. He has a ladder account that has some really decent stats, and he's playing really well in the games that I've seen so far. Also played against him, and he's definitely a good player. So I'm kind of hyped about to see what we can actually expect from him, because he was able to defeat Remind last week. I'm not sure. I saw him win against Remind in the grid, but some people told me, it was just a Deathloss because Remind had no time. Just pretend that he was able to beat Remind and that he's in a really good position right now. So he's going up against Shiek. Shiek also one of the top under players that we have in Europe. And sometimes he lacks a little bit of micro, sometimes he does have a weird decision making, is not like always super on point, but if he's able to play his A game, he can definitely take this game. So he's starting with the DK, he's starting with the ghouls, yet again an under player, starting with ghouls, not going for crazy fiends or anything, so pretty much the 120 meta game that everybody plays. ThomasG on the other hand is also opening up like a casual Night Elf player with that Ancient of War creeping for the green spot on Turtle Rock here. It's still best of one environment for this tournament run, so both of the players can be eliminated if they lose this game. And the Demon Hunter is now going for the second spot already. DK just came out of the altar, uses that Unholy Aura and is sprinting toward his opponent. Wants to catch a few of the creeps. That skull on front of his nice pony is jumping up and down, and he got the crazy old horns as well. So he's basically like that kind of kid that we saw in the Game of Thrones already. One of the guys, the king of the White Walkers. Not sure, I completely forgot the name. Demon Hunter is still level 1, not sure if he went for that one skill point in evasion to creep a little bit faster, or if he actually went for the mana burn right away. Ghoul going at the Wisp. We see that the Skeleton and the DK also try to get 1 or 2 Wisp kills. So far not succeeding in doing so. Use a little bit of the Moon Juice to keep him alive. Can he block the DK? No, the DK squeezes through and escapes without too much trouble. Not able to kill all that much. Tier 2 take is started. On the other hand, Tier 2 take is started for Shiek as well. Both of the players exchanging a few hits, but in the end nothing really happened. A few more archers are being built by ThomasG. He wants to play it rather safe than sorry. Also scouting in the meantime with that Wisp. Ghouls are about to jump out of the main base and try to get something done here. Some creeping, some experience for the DK. At least get him up to level 2 so that you have that coil available to steal creeps later. And yeah, speaking of experience, 0 so far for him. He is still struggling to find the level 2, missing out on 20 experience. Tier 2 take started, as I said it. No 4th Moonwell yet. Ancient of War rooting up. DK is still around. In the meantime, ghouls are creeping, so Shiek is doing some multitasking. Doing this beautifully, not losing any ghouls so far. Is microing that one correctly. Yep, this one is still red, but he will not die. Is the graveyard start yet? He gets a few more ghouls. He even goes up to 30 supply ghouls. Usually they will stop around 26 to 28. But he prefers to have 30 supply ghouls. Tier 2 take is 50% done. This is the time where you start the Hunter's Hall. So ThomasG not letting the opportunity arise of a delay Tier 2 lore, so anything like that. And yeah, perfectly played so far by both of the players, not letting like anything happen to them. Nothing crazy. 3 of the ghouls are microed even behind the ziggurats so that the DH cannot even enter there and attack them. DK is going to that one to pick the item up, as well as get 2 skeletons from the rot, with 1 Wisp still steadily scouting what's going on to get some more information of his opponent. Frost Tower is not yet upgraded. The Wisp is idling, wants to have a nice poke there to see what's going on. The ghouls in the meantime went to the middle of the map. Still level 1 DK. He's not going for the green camp in front of his main base, so he doesn't have that level up. Almost a surround there on the Demon Hunter of ThomasG, but with the boots of speed, he's so damn fast, you will not be able to surround him if he's not like doing some kind of crazy mistakes. And it doesn't seem that way, but as I said, that almost squeezed through with the DK to block the Demon Hunter. That would have been beautiful by Shiek. Level 2 now, we have the Wisp coming from the other side, wants to get the connection on the skeletons, just detonates one of them, so not that bad, but also mana burns the DK, so he's basically down to 50 mana, which is not enough to afford another coil. And there we have the Panda as the second hero, Ancient of War marching towards that gold mine here so that he can creep it later. Ancient of Lore, first one is constructed. This is not a second one yet. Is he going for an expansion or anything crazy? I'm not so sure yet. Just sends a Wisp over. Would probably start creeping right now with that Ancient of War. Pulls the turtles toward that Ancient of War. On the other side we see the DK squeezing through with a small group of units. Wants to creepjack his opponent and see whatever he can do, but it seems like he's missing out on the opportunity of creepjacking the Night Elf, and now he finally finds him. We have another Wisp detonating 2 skeletons, beautifully done. A nice breath of fire. ThomasG loses one of his archers, but this should still be fine. Demon Hunter comes to that party, he wants to be there whenever the ghouls enter, as well as the DK, so that he can mana burn him, that he can chase the ghouls down, the low HP ones, with the help of the boots of speed. But yeah, so far, Shiek doing a great game. Gets the first Fiend, Lich is started. We have that Slaughterhouse being summoned still. It's still not there. He can still not produce any of them. We have another Ziggurat coming out. So far I have to say Shiek performing way better than Enter, but on the other side it's also a different kind of style from the Night Elf player on a different map. So it's not really like, wow. That block with the archers was just damn beautiful. He just got rid of like 200 to 300 HP on the first hero. Speaking of heroes, there's a second hero. The Lich is already out. There's a second hero there for Shiek. Can he get a nice surround here with that Nova, slowing down the Demon Hunter for a second? He cannot even stop 1 second to get that mana burn on the Lich, so that he prevents him from a third Nova. Second Nova will of course hit him, but with the boots of speed, the slow effect wears off. In the meantime, Panda level 2, big Invo Potion, Ancient of War still alive, first Dryad comes to the party. Tier 3 tech is started, Casualist Tier 3 tech, Ancient of Lore number 2 is done. And he will slowly but steadily transition into the bear kind of tech here. Master Bears will be the next choice. Fiend is out, 3 ghouls, Frenzy started. 2 statues are lined up in that pipeline for the Slaughterhouse. Orb of Corruption is being bought. There we have it. He's going for the shop. On the other side we see the exact same creeping. Also going for the shop here. ThomasG wants to get some more hero levels. Needs to get the Demon Hunter as well as the Panda up to level 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the red camp sooner or later. On the other side, level 2 DK, level 1 Lich. He needs some more experience. Watcher Ward is dropped as well as the Ring of Protection +3. Definitely not the best item. Could have been a Pendant of Energy. Tomb of Experience on the other hand. A beautiful item for the Undead player. Gets it on the Lich, wants to have that extra bit of experience on him. We see a Watcher Ward as well as a Talisman of Evasion. Is probably going to sell that one. No, he keeps it. I like that. He sold another item, a Glove of Haste, I think that one was, and bought a healing scroll that he will need against the Panda, of course. Speaking of the Panda, he is going for a second turtle here. And this will give him the level 3. And we see an expansion coming in already for the Night Elf player. Level 2 still for the Demon Hunter. Not a single bear yet on the field. Big Invo Potion of course on the Panda, and he wants to get that Lich up to level 3. Needs to be careful with the ghouls. So far he's paying good attention. And this is not enough for the level 3, but a big Invo Potion nonetheless for him as well. So if there's a timing window where he can make something happen, I think it's right now, before the Master Bears are about to hit his army. The ghouls, of course, they will have trouble to stay alive against that Panda. We do not see a mana potion equipped on the DK, so this will be a trouble or a problem as well. But so far, he's not struggling a bit. That Nova, followed up with that beautiful coil, is doing some crazy damage. Rejuvenation on the Panda. Speaking of the Panda, he got a great mana potion. Can be used for 300 mana. All the ghouls already orange. Another Breath of Fire will drop them down to red. Can he kill that one? No, he was not able to kill the bear, and 3 ghouls died in the process. He killed that Ancient of War, but it seems like he is not seeing that expansion yet. Does he? Yes, he does, but the Night Elf player is coming back with almost 2 more Breath of Fires as well as that big mana potion. No more heal scrolls for the Undead. Naga is the 3rd hero. Destroyer is morphed. Can he do something with that Destroyer? No more mana for the DK, so he cannot call the Fiend or the Lich. Staffs out another bear and cancels the expansion plan. So the Undead got everything that he wanted to do. He lost a few ghouls, not too much. And in the end, he will probably sell the Talisman of Evasion now. Yes, and goes for like another heal scroll as well as an Invo Potion. Definitely the perfect choice for him. Level 3 now for the Demon Hunter as well. Level 100. Oh, level 100. Level 2 mana burn is burning 100 mana. And that is really important to have that one. He is going for the creep spot. Can he get that one? He focuses the Demon Hunter. Now he will get the turtle without too much trouble. What kind of item does it drop there? It's the Scroll of the Beast. Definitely not the best item. 50 supply for both of the players. Neither is paying taxes so far on his income. The Dryad dies. No kill yet on the other units. He uses the Scroll of the Beast. Uses a heal scroll. Goes for the Demon Hunter. There's no safety mechanism to save that one. We do not have a Staff of Preservation. That Breath of Fire is hitting hard. He consumed the big mana potion. No more heal scrolls. Staffs out the bear. Now he cannot staff out the panda anymore. But the DK, on the other hand, is the target of choice. Another Breath of Fire hits all the units here, as well as the statue. A lot of stuff is dropping down. Can he kill the Demon Hunter? He doesn't have mana. He cannot coil him. The DK will be burned. Townbolt's out in the very last second. And war! Both of the Fiends so low! But he's not getting the panda as a return kill. 43 supply remain for the Night Elf. We have 50 supply for the Undead. And he went for some Worm Tech. So I'm not sure if it was the right time to take a fight. I would have rather waited a little bit longer. He's now selling the Sacrificial Pit. After he got a Shade, I like that. But nonetheless, the Frostworm will still spoil that there might be a Shade on the map. So it's not working all that great. But he sells it. He knows, okay, I will probably not need that one. He will need another Ziggurat to go over to 65, 66 supply with a second Frostworm and a bunch of more Fiends here. Red Cap is taken by the Night Elf player. Hood of Cunning, no Tomb of Experience there, but almost double level 4 on both of the heroes. This is not the first level 4. In the meantime, Naga still level 1. See that the Lich is level 3 because of the Tomb of Experience and stuff. Boots of Speed is dropped. He could easily give that one over to the Naga. I think that would be a good one if he's not selling it. And he's probably going to sell it, yep. Because he needs every single coin that he can find on the map. It's now going for the Red Camp on his own. We have the Shade finally seeing the Night Elf player and keeping tabs of him. That expansion has started again for ThomasG, so he wants to get further ahead. He knows, okay, I'm in a comfortable position. I took a few good fights. I killed a few units. I made you town portal. So all of this stuff is costing you money, and now I will construct an expansion and force you to either come for it and punish me for it, or you just completely get unnoticed away with that expo and you find yourself on 2 gold mines mining against another player that it will forever be on 1 gold mine for most of the times. The Hood of Cunning also on the other side, immediately being given over to the Lich, so plus 12 damage on him, level 3.5 or 3.7 already on him. The Naga is 2.3 and the DK is about to be level 4. The Night Elf is now, while he's expanding, he's approaching the main base of the Undead player, wants to get him back inside his main base. If Shiek is smart, he will probably go for the red spot before he returns home and with the town portal, but he will lose a few buildings, as you can see. At 1 Abomination and the Frostworm is started, and now he's going for the red camp. He knows that he needs the experience. He wants that Lich at level 4 and the Naga at level 3, but in the meantime, a few of the buildings will pay the price for that. He's going for that Forest Troll, kills that one in absolutely no time. Flute of Accuracy, a good item, uses the Town Portal immediately. Tome of Relics is being restarted, and now the Undead player is back to his base. He stole the big item, couldn't finish the entire camp, and got a nice aura that can be really beneficial for Frostworms, statues, destroyers, fiends, and on top of that, he even got an upgrade for them. So let's see, plus 11 damage for the ground attack of Frostworm, also additional damage for the Lich and the Naga, plus 22 damage on the Lich. That is sick. He's up to 56 damage per hit, not including the armor, of course. But yeah, he steps out the Panther, probably grabbing up another Staff of Preservation. We saw that the web upgrade is already in play. And speaking of stuff that is in play, we have that expansion done and set. Now we have Wisp being constructed for the Entangled Gold Mine. And the player, of course, knows that he wants to get like the remaining creeps that he left behind. He's going for it right now. We'll gather the level 3 and the level 4 for his heroes. Level 4 already on the DK. We see an Invo Potion, a Heal Scroll, another Invo Potion on the Lich. The Naga got another Heal Scroll. So 2 Heal Scrolls, 2 Invo Potions for the heroes. We have probably like 3 Destroyers if he morphs all of his Destros. We only have 1 Fiend. That is kind of scary. Gets a second one right now. We have also 1 Abomination that can tank up some damage. We have a bunch of ghouls still. Going for the Lumber should probably take him with them. And now he's marching into that Sentry Ward with the Shade. And this one is immediately being killed. Finally, ThomasG realizing, you know, you saw everything that I did, right? You know what kind of an army I have. And with 1 Fiend, he cannot really kite against the Hippogriff. So that will be rather surprising how he wants to win the next upcoming fight. Level 3 for the Naga, level 2 Nova, level 2 Fork Lightning against the Hippogriffs. That might be good. But this is probably not the best position that you can find yourself in. The Nova is hitting all the Hippogriff. The Fork Lightning is all hitting the Hippogriff. That is beautifully done. Now he's sniping the Hippos. The amount of Hippos is not that crazy high. DK is dropping low. Nonetheless, takes a lot of damage as well as a mana burn. Kills the last remaining Hippogriffs. This leaves him with only Dryads against the Frostworms. 1 more call that remains. He kills one of the bears. The Frostworm is about to drop down. A lot of damage on both of the worms. He will lose 1. Usually 120 is sacrificing that one as soon as he realizes he cannot micro it anymore. Do we have another heal scroll? No, both of the heal scroll got used for the Frostworms to keep them alive. Nova, Fork Lightning forces the Taupo, micros the Frostworms almost perfectly. Really nice control there from Shiek, but another Breath of Fire would have finished 3 more units, 2 statues. And yeah, this is not a position that you want to find yourself in. And now he's buying extra time for the expansion to mine some more. And the Night Elf player will probably be in the best position of his entire life. 1/1 upgraded units, a lot of Dryads to that mix. A few Hippogriffs to deal with the Frostworms, as well as grant like high ground vision above the forest, which is always nice to see. He's even repairing the statues, gets another Frostworm here, goes up to 67 supply with 3 Fiends, 1 Destroyer, 2 statues, 4 Destroyer it is. 4 Fiends, 1 Destroyer, and the 1 Abomination that is still dead. Or pretty much dead, needs to get like healed up again. But yeah, the heal scrolls are expensive. And yeah, in the meantime, 2 gold mines for the Night Elf player. No Invo Potion on the Panda though. We have the Staff of Preservation to staff him out. And maybe, but only maybe, if he can force a hero kill, which wouldn't be too surprising as an under player with high level heroes, then he can turn that game around, because Dryads are not that... They're not that crazy good, of course. They are not bad at all, but they are not crazy good. They don't win you games in the end against Fiends, and that Frost... the Orb of Corruption, you can easily snipe them down. The Frostworm is not attacking the Hippogriff, so he escapes. Nova are completely useless. We have a Mana Potion, Heal Scroll, Invo Potion on the DK. The Invo Potion on the Lich was used earlier. I cannot really recall when that happened. But it's gone for some reason. Maybe he hesitated for a second. 4 Hippogriffs and so many Dryads coming to the party. A second Frostworm is arriving. He figured out, okay, there might be an Expo, I have to go for it. He cannot snipe it right now. I would just take like a few Wisp out, detonate it on top of the heroes and burn some mana. 2 Frostworms, can he take a good fight? There's a lot of forest that he can fly over. The Fork Lightning Nova combination with, as well as the web and the kiting, was really well done by Shiek. He's doing a phenomenal job here of sniping all the Hippogriffs. I can only imagine how hard that is as a Night Elf player to see all your dead supply just dying. And speaking of something that is dying, the Naga goes down with the last Fork Lightning that he uses. The 1 Frostworm is about to die. He needs to micro them above the forest. The coil is hitting the wrong Frostworm, and there you can see it. The micro is a little off, and you get punished immediately. The 1 Destroyer, the 1 Frostworm is still alive. Now he needs to keep the Lich alive. He can give the Invo Potion over to the Lich. Does that. The Demon Hunter finishes off one of the Frostworms in the meantime. Level 5 for the DK now, but no more mana that he can use to keep the Lich alive, and the Lich is probably going to pay the price for that. No, the Lich retreats and escapes for now, but the Frostworm is the target for the focus. The focus is not paying off, but the Panther is coming back with mana. Breath of Fire is being used. No Dispel yet. DK needs to keep the Lich alive. That Lich is going down. G is being called by Shiek. And ThomasG really, or rather convincingly, taking this game here on Turtle Rock and advancing into the later stages of the game. A few mismicros, or a few misclicks there in the end from Shiek. Yeah, and without these misclicks, he would have probably been in a good position winning that game. But the web Fork Lightning Nova against the Hippogriffs, really well done, super on point, and yeah, Shiek, a really good under player, I have to say.